Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is a game called Alien Isolation on the Xbox One. This is a game that has gotten some of the most praiseworthy previews I've ever read over the last few months. I mean, the consistency as well as the high praise. I mean, it was uncommon. I mean, this is a seriously hyped game. And I remember seeing the first footage of it a little while ago, and I just remember thinking, it looks like Slender. I don't know how they're going to make this work, you know. And the Creative Assembly have never done a first person game before. It's a survival horror, which is so hard to get right, and I just felt like the lone skeptic. And Alien Isolation is a really, really slow burner. And actually, the opening 2 hours flirt really consistently with being downright terrible.
Right.
I played the first 2 hours in kind of a state of mild awe, just thinking, oh God, they really have messed it up. The game that I didn't want to anticipate because I really want to love it, they really have fucked it up. Because you're just following NPCs around. It's never clear when you're supposed to be taking time to explore or when you're thrown into action. You know, it's just really unfocused. Also, I played on Xbox One, and there are performance issues. At first, I restarted the game because it's one of those games that allows you to start playing it while it's still installing. And the opening cinematic was just sketchy as hell. So I turned it off, and then I waited for the install to finish and started playing while it was... after it finished installing. And while it was better, the cutscenes in general are just quite skittish and flickery at first. I mean, I assume this is exclusive to Xbox One, and hopefully it's the kind of thing that's rectified with perhaps an early patch. But yeah, that side of it is not so great. The cutscenes later on appear to not have quite the same issues, but for me it was definitely a problem. Also, if you are playing this, if you are going to play this on Xbox One, turn the head tracking on. If you have Kinect, the head tracking is really terrific. It allows you to tilt your head to peer around corners, and it worked like a charm for me. I played it in the dark, sat quite far away from Kinect, and it was just too cool. Just tilting your head and peering out from the corner, really involving, really put you in the situation. Anyway. Once the game starts properly, which is basically about half an hour before you discover the motion tracker, 2.5 hours or so, it just grabbed me, and I mean it really grabbed me. I played the most recent 4 hours. I've played about 6 hours of it, and the most recent 4 hours or so, I was literally perched on the edge of a chair. My girlfriend came in and said, sit back, and I was literally just perched on the edge of my chair. But yeah, one thing I'll say about the game is that you have to be meticulous. This is not a game where items of importance like flash up and they're brightly highlighted. You have to search everywhere, and if you do something like miss a map upgrade terminal, because you find these terminals and they upgrade your map, if you miss one of those, you will have an incomplete map. And you can also miss crucial save points by not exploring. So like I said, this is a really slow burn game. Impatient people need not apply. The way the game's structured is surprisingly reminiscent of Dead Space, and that seems daft to point out because Dead Space was unofficially an Aliens game anyway, really. But it's the way the levels are designed and how you travel between locations, primarily in lifts and sort of glorified cable cars, whatever they are. Despite the fact that I don't know yet how the interactions with the alien are going to work, because the alien hasn't actually been in it a whole lot so far, it's just hugely promising. It's already shaken me up a few times, and I mean really shaken me up, and not by the alien. The world is inhabited by these kind of dead-eyed droids, and when they're after you, you know about it. It's really, really unsettling. And the save system is really brutal as well. You can do an entire, really long stealth section. And then cutscenes can happen, and you can assume that it's saved, and then you can go into the next section and start. But if you didn't manually save, back you go. You have to manually save at these little terminals. It's going to be interesting to see whether that becomes more or less welcome as the game goes on, because the game doesn't really stop when you run up to one of those terminals. It kind of freezes for a second and asks you if you want to overwrite your save, but the time in the game doesn't stop. So it's probably going to be quite a good source of tension as it goes on, because there was a situation where I was running from these droids, and by running you're alerting the alien to your presence also. So, it's something that I'm going to see. Be interesting to see how that progresses. There are systems that aren't explained too well. There's this rewire system which is not explained at all, really, where you can manipulate different things in an area. So you can the lights, the air conditioning, security cameras. So you can use it to cover your tracks or to sort of flush enemies out. I'm still getting a handle on that. It's very simple actually, but it's so badly explained that I don't know. I thought it was going to be really overly complicated, and it's not. It's just I still don't feel like I've got a fully handle on it. And this is a tiny, tiny detail, but you can snap focus. When you've got the motion tracker, you can snap to what's happening in the background. So you can look at the motion tracker and then just press the left trigger and look into the background. It's a tiny thing, but it just looks so good. It looks so slick. And there's a system whereby, I like the fact that you can commit components because there's a crafting system, but if you haven't got any space, you can basically commit components to stuff that you know you're going to build to free up space in your inventory, which is a really smart idea. I don't think I've seen that done before. But even at 6 hours in, I don't feel like the game has properly started yet, but I cannot wait to see more. It's clearly very good, and I'm just like, phew.